Hello and welcome. So I'm going to take a look at the Guardian's Quiptic crossword, and this is being published on Sunday the 15th of June 2025, and it's been set by Anto. So Anto is definitely a bit tough in the Quiptic slot normally. The last couple of puzzles I think I've got done in about 25 to 30 minutes, which is just on the upper edge of how long I want to spend on these. But invariably there aren't many clues to write in on the first look, and I have to dig it out a bit. So anyway, enough waffling, let's see how it goes. Cast takes on a hunt. Nope. Troop or something. Music system created by some austere orchestras is, I assume that's a hidden word. Some austere orchestras. Recorder, 6 letters. Promote extremely punctual underling. Promote is to plug. They aren't the extreme letters of those words. Texan lopes about finding places out of this world is, I assume that's anagram. Texan lopes. Extra places out of this world. So do space, but can't get space in there. Exoplanet. Gosh, exoplanets. There's a word for you. Casually called wife, the most beautiful in America. Casually called wife. Oh, the most beautiful would suggest it's EST, but going into America. Don't know. Okay, biblical fellow creating difficulty in African country. You would think that's the name of someone like Adam. Creating difficulty in an African country. I would have thought we were trying to get we're either trying to get to a biblical fellow or an African country. I feel like it should be the African country, really. But difficulty would be hard. I've got a long list of African countries I can go through if need be, but I prefer not to. So let's go on to sad fitter, abandoned, romantic encounter. That must be, well, fitter abandoned would be FR maybe. Sad, down, blue, initial romantic encounter. Romantic encounter, something date, first date. Yeah, it's an anagram. Okay, wasn't sure about that. Abandon being your anagram indicator, I think. First date. You express absolute resolution when starting this time. Yeah, that's an acrostic. Fossil fuel that may lead to war. Well, fossil fuels, we got gas, oil, coal. Fossil fuel that may lead to war. Peat, maybe. None of those seem. Coal's the only one will fit. Which suggests it isn't really looking for a fossil fuel. That may lead to war. Coal. Or are we looking at gas? And then a letter on the end or something. Ghast. No, can't think. Unrivaled competition. Not so much. You would have thought not so much would be less. Or I would have. Competition. Unrivaled. Peerless or something. Unrivaled, yeah. Competition is a race, a relay. Competition. Something, yes, yeah, so something like peerless would be unrivaled, but I need a word for competition to go in there. Fish sounding very small to contribute to food for Italians. Gosh. Food for Italians, spaghetti. Spaghetti, it's 2 letters, right. Risotto, lasagna. I don't know how much of a sound like is in there. 22. Media snubs. Let's scroll on down a little bit to the bottom. There we are. Media snubs. Insider's return. It's not reported. So reported should be sound like indicator. Media press. Snubs insiders. Snubs insiders are, well, that's just a U. Returns. Okay, don't be fooled by this flimsy type of material. 3 and 7. Don't be fooled by this. Don't be as 6 letters. This is 4. I think it might be an anagram. Flume type of material. Oh, not good on materials. I'll probably pretend to be something like cardboard, which isn't very flimsy. Pretentious faction loses power. Pretentious. So it is faction, which is a wing group. Faction wing group. I just need to think of a word faction without a P in it. Really dull study of poet. No. Top primate, nursing bruised ego. Top primate, nursing bruised ego. Is that an anagram of ego going into ape? Which would be apogee, I think. Yeah, apogee. Is that right? Ego, yeah, ape. Okay, I'll go with that. I think I'm still on screen, aren't I? Perfect bit of scrolling there. So what do we got on the downs? Down. Italian directory, that'll be Fellini. Collapsed is fell. Federico Fellini did 8.5 weeks or something, I don't know. Sauces made using sponge sugar. Ragouts. Okay, amazing when you've got one letter in there, how much easier it gets. Speculated about how visitor is picked up. Guest. Okay, this one casually misses. Casually called the wife, Mrs. Miss US. Ah, very good. That's a good cryptic clue. This looks like it on a hunt must be forage. Cast takes on a hunt. What is that? Forge cast. Yep. Right. Where I was on the downs, wasn't I? Let's go on to the next down then, which is cheers. Tar. Advanced is lent. Talent is facility, I guess. Lent is advanced. Yep. Way to seek a mission that will sound familiar. Way to seek a mission that will sound familiar. Oh, that should be easy with that. If that's a less on the end. Way to seek a mission. Can't see what that is. This one, published fiction on Queen, is something abnormal. Published fiction is okay, I think a book, but it could be a magazine. Something abnormal is untoward, odd, don't know. Okay, that's going to be an interesting corner. Mostly what you wear and feel in battle is combat fatigue. Mostly what you wear, so you wear combat fatigues. So mostly the same, take the S off. Being in good form accurately underpins race odds. Being in good form. I feel like race odds could be an anagram. Good form accurately underpins. No. Wedges have this fine finish. It's just the start. I would have thought finish is an end, but 4 and 3 may be an off. Wedges, are we talking about like potato wedges? Can't get away from the idea of chipping. Chips. Wedges have this fine finish. F. It's just the start. No. Reluctantly deliver. That's an up, isn't it? Expression of horror to disrupt power. Grab. Reluctantly to deliver is to kind of give up, isn't it? Expression of horror to disrupt power. Grab. So is that an anagram of power? Don't know. Devotee of major pop sensation broke Wi-Fi set. Is that just an anagram? Wi-Fi set? Probably, given it's a Swiftie. Love it. I love a good reference like that. Swiftie. Boiled rice in iron container. You think that's FE for the iron container. Rice would be anagram. Fierce. There we are. That's nice. I mean, I have to say, so far this has felt relatively nice. There's my Eni again, probably. Informed about liberal. Jargon is slang. Informed, yeah, you sang. Okay, I mean that's pretty good for an Anto, I'd say, to have got that much done. So let's just have a look at this one here. Pretentious faction loses power. Pretentious is party and arty. Yep, arty. This media snubs insiders return. Is this a either is a sound like or it's a hidden word backwards maybe? Because I've got SI unsaid now. Unsaid hidden word backwards. My instinct took me to that one somehow. This reluctantly deliver expression of horror will be ugh, I think. To deliver, to disrupt, power, grab. Cough up? A coup, yeah. Coup, wow, okay. What's this? Unrivaled competition. Not so much. Let's see if I can scroll back up. I can't quite scroll back up because I still need the real study of the poet. Unrivaled. It's going to need a bit of, I assume it's well, probably it's a less, isn't it? Come back to that one. This is a rougher through. Don't be fooled by this flimsy type of material. See-through. Okay, so that's probably a double def, isn't it? Let's have a look at the Italian food. Fish sounding very small to contribute. Is that a mini? Tortellini, tortamini. And if it is mini, what? I don't know. To contribute food. Very small. Well, this was certainly going to be an innie, isn't it? I think it's a mini, but I don't know. I can't think of anything. This wedges have this fine finish. It's just this fine finish would be F N, I think. Let's see if that D helps me. Really, really dull. Study of poet is a it's not. It's the name of a poet. Really dull is dim dud. Studies a den. Alden is what I was thinking of. Really dull. Is that end? Wedges. It's just the start. Thick end, thin end? Thin end of the wedges. Haha. Yeah, you get the thin end of the wedge, I think. This fine finish is just the start. It's the thin end of the wedge. Okay, this, my fossil fuel, that may lead it to T. Fossil tribolite. I've got gas, water, not water, gas, coal, oil, peat. Probably the only 3 or 4 I think of really. Being in good form, accurate, underpins race odds. So race odds are odds. SP starting price. Okay, let's go back up to the top. Let's see what we can get up there. On 4 across. Music system, stereo. There it is. I said it was a hidden word. I just could not see it. There it is, second time. Published fiction on Queen is something abnormal. Is out. Out is public. Fiction is outlier. Lie on Queen is after Regina. Yep. Ring a bell. I think that is ring a bell. Way to seek a mission is to ring a bell. Ring a bell. Let's get that the right way around. Okay, suddenly this top corner's gone in okay. Biblical fellow. Right. Difficulty in African country, so the African country is Benin. What's that? Benjamin? Biblical fellow. Benjamin, yep, okay. A jam. Just leaves these 3 or 4 down in this corner, which is not so nice. This unrivaled competition. Oh, what's the competition? Catch. Matchless. There we are. Matchless. That was an easy word, wasn't it? Really. So yeah, it's gone very well. How long have I taken? About 15 minutes. Yeah, about 15. Unfortunately, these aren't so nice. 'Cause I don't know who this is. Really dull. Really dull is flat. I can't think of a word for dull. Dad. This being in good form accurately underpins race odds. I think the race odds are SP. Exact. Oh, let's try and put a P in there. Eggs. Specs act. Obviously, I'm not getting to what I'm trying to hear. It means race odds. So being in good forms would be accurately precise. And this fossil fuel that may lead to war. Lead to war is a W. And fish sounding very small. Fish contribute. Linguini. Okay. Linguini. Let's try and put linguini. Linguini. Okay, yeah, ling, and then weenie is sounding small, isn't it? This must be sprightly, mustn't it? SP right. And then where's my ly coming from? Rightly. Okay. Dayden. Really dull. Day. Dryden. Okay. Which means that it's not TRW. What's this? Fossil fuel. That may lead to war. What is that? Tarp? Turf. I think it's turf war. Okay, there we go. I think that's all done. It's about 16, 17 minutes. That's good. Let's check it now. Okay, good. All done. Right, I will go through those clues as best I can. Right, so if you cast something, you forge it. So yeah, casting is a way of making, I don't know, swords were forged and cast, cast iron and so on. Take on A, so put an A into forge gives you forage, and a forage is a hunt, you hunt for food. A music system is the stereo, created by some is your classic hidden word indicator that it's across austere orchestra. It starts in austere. Yeah, I just never quite saw that. I never went far enough back in the word thinking there wouldn't be a word ending in O, I think. To promote is to plug. Extremely is saying take the extremes of punctual, the PL, and the UG from underling. Text and lopes is an anagram of exoplanets. About is your anagram indicator, and exoplanets are places out of this world. Yeah, so they're planets around other suns or stars as we see them. Casually called wife, so the Mrs. The most beautiful in America is Miss US. That is a great cryptic clue, I have to say, very good. Biblical fellow is Benjamin, creating difficulty. Difficulty is a jam in the African country of Benin. Sad fitter is an anagram of first date, I think. I'm just going to check. Sad fitter is 9 letters, yeah. So abandoned is your anagram indicator, and then a first date is an initial romantic encounter. So just checking there that the wordplay wasn't saying to get rid of an initial letter from the anagram or something, and it wasn't. U express absolute resolution, so that's an acrostic YEAR, which is starting this time, which is year, and obviously you make New Year's resolutions, so kind of a clever bit of wording there. Fossil fuel is turf, probably the only one I didn't know. And you get turf, gangs have turf wars, that's what that's saying. Unrivaled competition is unrivaled is matchless. A competition is a match, and not so much is less. Not so much equals less comes up quite frequently. A fish is a ling, and sounding very small, so a sound like of weenie gives you linguine, which is a food for Italians. Very nice it is as well. Type of pasta dish I seem to recall. Media snubs is contains the hidden word unsaid. So starting in the middle of snubs and work backwards. Insiders is telling it's hidden. Return is telling it's a hidden word backwards or backwards. And it's not reported is unsaid. So it wasn't a sound like it's just, it means unsaid is not reported. Don't be fooled by this. So if you don't get fooled, then you see through the plot, or you see through whatever the problem is. And a flimsy type of material is see-through. So a double definition. Pretentious is arty. A faction is a party losing P for power. Party becomes arty. Really dull is dry, and study is a den, and Dryden was a poet. The top is the apogee. A primate is an ape, so A-P-E on the end, nursing bruised ego, so an anagram of ego, which happens to be ego backwards in this case. Let's look at the downs. So we've got the Italian director Federico Fellini. Collapsed is fell in, and then I in is in the clue, and I for current is the standard unit. Standard, I think it's the scientific notation for current. I. Sources are ragouts, which is made using spun is telling you there's an anagram of sugar. Speculated is guessed, spelt this way, and how a visitor is picked up. Well, a visitor is a guest, so guest with a T on it, and picked up is your sound like indicator. Cheers is tar, advanced is lent. I lent you some money, I advanced you some money. Facility is talent. Not an obvious definition. Way to seek admission is to ring a bell, and something that will sound familiar, so the colloquialism, that rings a bell. It sounds familiar. Published is out. Fiction is a lie. On queen is R for regina, and something abnormal is an outlier. Mostly what you wear is combat fatigues, or you might wear combat fatigues. Mostly is saying it's take the S off of that, gives you combat fatigue, which is what you might feel from battle. Be in good form. Being in good form is sprightly, accurately, so we've got a ly on accurately, so that means it's rightly, underpinning the race odds, which are SP, the starting price. Bit of crossword land stuff there for me. Wedges have this fine finish, and it's just the start. Well, people talk about the thin end of the wedge is the beginning of the beginning of things will get worse. They'll turn from one thing, a small thing, into a large bad thing. I'm just looking to see if there's anything more going on in the clue, because you've kind of got this is THI, fine's got NE, a finish is an end. I think it's just wedges have this fine finish. It's just pointing you towards a thin end of the wedge. Reluctantly delivers to cough up. Expression of horror is ugh. Disrupting, so going into a power grab. A power grab is a coup, C-O-U-P. Devotee of major pop sensation is Swifty, Taylor Swift's fan. Broke is your anagram indicator that Wi-Fi set is an anagram of Swifty. What a great clue. So along with misses, those are two great clues I have to say for the cryptic this week, or quiptic should I say. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Boiled rice, we've got an anagram of rice as indicated by boiled going in the iron container. So iron is Fe on the periodic table. So anagram of rice is IERC, which gives you fierce, which is very intense. And informed, if you were informing in the criminal world, you might have sang. You sing. They say canaries sing. people who sing are informing. Informed is the past tense, so it's sang about alpha liberal, which gives you slang, which is a jargon. So there we go, all done, all passed. A lovely little quiptic there from Anto, really hitting the spot for once. Thanks for watching.